I was scripting another video and this topic just came to my mind and I was extremely passionate about it and I had a lot to say about my predicament, so I decided to make a video about it. But I just wanted to have a general conversation about the time I went to urgent care because of my mental health. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this, going to urgent care instead of the ER, and my story actually has really horrible times and parts in it and really, really good parts in it. And I really hope this story helps someone out there or gives the courage to someone to go to urgent care when they are feeling this way, or just to help others go to the ER urgent care if they start feeling this way. So this story takes place this past spring. I think it was around March. I was at my college, and my college has an amazing mental health program in it. It's connected to the gym and it's connected to the health center. We have counselors and therapists and urgent care psychologists and things like that. I never thought I would need those services. I've always did one-on-one therapy and support groups, but I've never had to go to the urgent care because of my mental health until this day. So it starts off around 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the library and I'm studying, I'm doing homework, and I'm sitting at a place that I usually sit. So it's not like anything out of the ordinary. I have my cup of coffee there, got my muffin, and I'm ready to go and I'm ready to study, right? So I'm sitting there and all of a sudden my heart starts racing. I was going to stand up to throw away something and I got super dizzy and super out of it, and my heart starts really, really racing really quickly. And I thought, okay, I'm having a panic attack. Like, okay, this is what a panic attack feels like. It was so intense and so I was so dizzy and everything. I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience. It was weird. And so I go to the bathroom and I throw up because of all this. I was just like, okay, what? Like, my anxiety was so bad I threw up. So I'm thinking like, okay, do I have to go home? Should I go home? What should I do? I had a meeting I had to go to in 30 minutes. So I'm just like, okay, I'll go to that meeting even though I'm not feeling well, and we'll see how I feel after. I go through the meeting, I start feeling a little bit better, but then I have to go to my office hours because I was a peer mentor, and those office hours are 2 hours long. So I'm not feeling well, I'm still dizzy, I'm still having the heart palpitations, sweating, not feeling like myself, but I thought, okay, I'll go to my office hours, I'll push through those office hours, and then I'll go home. I'm in my office hours, I'm surrounded by people asking me questions. I started getting really dizzy, and it starts getting worse and worse and worse. I can't really describe it, the feeling of just tightening in the chest, not being able to breathe. It was probably one of the worst feelings ever. I thought that I can go up to one of my psychology buddies and say, hey, I'm not feeling so well right now. I don't really know what's wrong with me, because panic attacks could feel like other medical problems, like maybe I'm having an asthma attack, maybe I'm doing something else, maybe my heart's like gonna explode. I don't know, but I told her, I think I'm gonna go to urgent care after, can you walk me there? Oh lordy. And I said, I do have panic attacks and I haven't had one in a while, but I kind of want to go to urgent care just to make sure that everything's okay. I think she thought that she handled it correctly, and she did the best that she could. But in that moment I felt embarrassed, because what happened was there's a policy in the peer mentoring. If someone is in an emergency, she had to email my professor to tell her exactly what happened. And that made me super, super anxious because I felt incapable of doing my job. So she walks me down to the urgent care and they're asking me, why are you here? I said, I think I'm having a panic attack, but I don't know, and I want to get checked out. I'm not feeling well. When you say those kind of things at an urgent care, they brand you as a mental health patient and nothing else, even though with a panic attack, it can have the same symptoms as you having asthma or different types of medical illnesses. I was in there so quickly. I saw a nurse, and for some reason, right when I got into the room and she was there, I just broke down crying because I was super embarrassed about the whole thing of me getting there. I was super embarrassed that I was actually at the urgent care, even though there's no shame in getting that help you need. But I was so emotionally drained, and so I just broke down crying, which made them think it's a mental health thing. So she asked me a bunch of questions about my mental health, my emotions, what's going on with me, how's your stress levels, are you suicidal, the basic things that they're gonna ask you as a psych patient. She took my blood pressure, she listened to my heart, but it didn't make me feel good. And then she told me, well, the school psychologist won't be able to see you for an hour, so you can leave and then come back in an hour. And my brain was like, I do not want to leave this room because I feel so embarrassed. That was the anxiety in my head, and I said, no, I'm gonna stay here. So I sat in the corner of the urgent care for an hour waiting for the psychologist. Here's the good part. I'm still hyperventilating, I'm still thinking this is medical. And this nurse comes over, the same nurse that helped me and I just didn't want her there. She did the most kindest thing. She knew I didn't eat lunch because it was around 1 o'clock at that time. She gave me some snacks, and then she put this thing on my finger. It just shows you that your heart's beating. She put that on me. She said, look at it. And it showed that I'm getting enough oxygen, and that was like the best thing that she could have done, because now I felt dumb because I'm like, okay, now it's psychological. But she really, really did help me. But there's so many of people that go in for psychological problems in an urgent care ER. We need nurses there to understand that we're not making this up, that we do have anxieties, we do have intrusive thoughts that plague us. And to have someone there that gets it and wants to actually help you was really good. So props to her. She was an amazing nurse. So I waited for an hour. I saw the psychiatrist. He was freaking amazing. He was just so wholesome, and he made me feel better when I left. He made me realize that I need to do self-care, and he'd opened a door that just letting my emotions out. So yeah, would I recommend people going to urgent care or the ER if they're having a psychological emergency? Absolutely. If you think you're having a panic attack and you've never had a panic attack before, but you feel like you can't breathe and you start freaking out, go to the urgent care or ER. They could tell you if it's psychological or something else. Don't ever self-diagnose yourself, because it could be something else. That's what I was doing, but I wanted to make sure, so I went to the ER just to make sure. If you are thinking about harming yourself or others, if you're thinking about suicide, if you're thinking about self-harming, cutting, burning yourself, hurting yourself in any way, go to the urgent care ER. The most important thing is that you're safe and you get better and you get those resources. They might not fix the problem that you're having, but they will help you go to the right direction. Please let me know your story down below. Was it positive? Was it negative? What could be your advice to a nurse or a doctor in an urgent care who are seeing patients with mental health? What is your advice to them? I'd love to know, because what helps you could help somebody else. I love you guys. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.